McKinley in Georgia. You are on live with Eric and Jamie. How are you doing today, McKinley?
How you doing, dude?
I'm doing fine. I always feel like I'm the first call everyone picks up.
Cool.
Dig it. What'd you want to talk to us?
Have you called the AXP before? Or the Atheist Experience? Have you called the Atheist Experience before?
Yes, I have. I was on 22.03, just to be specific.
All right.
And everybody thought I was a girl. And I think they didn't. I think they thought I was a crazy old bat.
Well, what did you want to talk about today, McKinley?
Well, I was just going to talk about the relation between religion and conspiracies, because I've noticed that it always seems like when you see a flat earther or a conspiracy theorist of any sort, they always tend to be either religious or, Christian or Muslim. And I was going to see, do you think that religion has something to do with most conspiracies?
Yes.
Well,
okay. I think that in many ways they end up being related specifically with the flat earth theory, because there's parts in the Old Testament that refer to being able to climb to the top of a very tall tree and see the entirety of the earth, which would require it to not be an oblate, spheroid, rounded object. And then also that evil science thing is super evil, so if it says one thing, we have to say the opposite, because we're creationists.
Right.
And it refers to the corners of the earth, so I don't really know how they justify thinking that it's a disc, but...
well, I was always told that the four corners were like talking about north, east, west, and south.
Yeah, but how does that make any sense?
I was asking about creationist beliefs.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Good call.
But, well, that and there's been a slight recent in Muslim apologists anti-science kick, even though they like to justify how great the Quran is because it has science in it, and they had the Islamic golden age. They gave us algebra, although they don't bring that up very much if they're trying to convert young people that have to learn it in school. But yeah.
Especially if they're female.
Well.
But going on.
Okay, I'm going to let you sit on that one over there. Send your hate mail to him. But yeah, but also I think the underlying religious mindset of like, oh, it makes sense to me, I believe it, I can find some words in this special book that justifies it, therefore it's true and I won't question it, definitely helps people believe a lot of things that they don't have a good reason to believe.
Well, I believe there is a God, but I don't believe in the cultural God, if that makes any sense.
It doesn't, but could you tell us about it?
I don't believe in, because you have the the Judeo-Christian God, you have the Muslim. I mean, I know the Judeo-Christian God is the Muslim God, but you know what I'm saying. The Hindu God. I don't believe in any of that. I don't believe that there is a specific God in a sense. Like, I accept science. In fact, I want to be a scientist in the future.
Awesome.
But at the same time, I do think there is a God. I do think there is somebody, because because you have to think about it. I heard, what's his name? Michio Kaku. Is that how you'd pronounce it?
Michio Kaku, yeah.
Yeah. And he said, okay, well, we know where we can say where it caused the Big Bang, but we can't say where the laws came from,
So,
and just different.
Well, actually, I don't think that that's a very useful question. That's like saying what happened before time, right? If time and matter are intrinsically connected, which we understand that they are, that means that the Big Bang would actually be the beginning of time. Yeah. So you can't say what was before that, right? Just in that way, you can't say that there are laws that were created. We created laws to describe things that we see around us, right? They don't have an intrinsic value outside of what we assign to them and put up to them. You know what I mean?
I do. I may have misheard it, so please don't.
Oh,
no, it's all good.
Don't worry, we'll never damn you to hell, so you're fine.
No, but I will damn you to hot spaghetti sauce.
Hey, the flying spaghetti monster, he boiled for your sins.
May you be touched by his noodly appendage.
Absolutely.
Awkward phrasing, but it's what they say.
May his meatballs fall upon you.
That's graphic. Okay.
No, but yeah, so my question would be, if there's something that we can't explain except by saying, oh, there must be some kind of God, how does saying, oh, there must be some kind of God that's not specific, explain it, and isn't it better to just say, we don't have an explanation?
Oh, I totally agree with that. See, I'm not the kind of person to say, I'm not the God of the gaps type of guy. I'll be like, okay, see, I do think there is somebody who set up the laws. Oh, okay, I'll put it this way. I think God is an expert mathematician, okay? And the way he had the equation set out, the way he had everything set up, and he just said, go. And how everything came together, however the Big Bang started. I mean, like, I think that we should still try to discover. I don't think we should say, well, we can't explain it, so God must have done it. I still think we should have that desire to discover. But at the same time, I do not discount the creator, if that makes any sense.
Well, so
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I guess the question is why? Why create that whole that is such an honest question. That's such an honest answer.
The thing you're describing as a God seems unnecessary as far as an understanding of the universe. But not only that, it seems precisely the same as a God that doesn't exist. Like, what would a universe without someone that decided what the properties of matter look like, as opposed to a universe with a being that doesn't interact with us, who decided that these are the ways that matter is going to interact?
Well, Albert Einstein said that the universe could have been ugly, it could have been chaotic, but he said that it's so beautiful and so magnificent. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson said there's so many things in the universe that could kill us. And I know that's probably what you're thinking. But I'm just, as far as just the magnificence of it,
well, so here's the thing. The quality of magnificence is a matter of perspective. It's subjective to human beings. So
I'm aware.
Yeah, so, you know, ants, for example, in someone's backyard that get deliberately poisoned by humans don't find necessarily our ability to manufacture the chemicals that poison them, and shoes that we can use to step on them, and a house that we can use to live in, particularly magnificent or impressive. However, we do, because those are things that I would say, yes, that's impressive, but from the perspective of anything else, the fact that humans have an advantage because we're super awesome doesn't help them. So from the perspective of the universe, black holes are doing really well, right? That's apparently what the universe creates. But for the stars that get absorbed by those black holes and all of the other space debris that gets absorbed by those black holes, it doesn't seem magnificent. And for people that don't find an interest in space, other humans don't find it magnificent. So saying, you know what, I think the universe is magnificent doesn't seem, to me at least, to be a good reason to then conclude, well, it must have been intentionally created by a being.
And I agree. I think that is a really good point. But just, it helps me, I guess, in my sense, it's like, hey, I can appreciate this more if I think that, hey, you know what? It's just, I don't know. I kind of forgot what I was saying. I lost my train of thought.
No, you're good.
That's all right. McKinley, I really, really want to encourage you to keep on this line of questioning, because I think where we ended up was that while that sounds poetic, that doesn't really strike at the heart of whether or not it's true. And I think that we really want to focus on what's true more than what sounds pretty, you know?
All right.
So definitely keep searching, but I would advise you to take a look at deepities and watch out for deepities. A deepity was described by Dennett as something that sounds very flowery and very profound, but does not mean anything. And there are a lot of people, especially where you're looking right now, who tend to come up with a whole lot of really, really beautiful things that just, especially like your quantum, what's his name?
Oh,
Deepak Chopra.
Deepak
Chopra is the king of deepities. It is insane when you look at all of the, you know, oh, the quantumness of the soul is really the expression of all of our subconscious. It means nothing.
The universe exists in consciousness itself.
Yeah.
By unconscious consciousness, quantum flowers, therefore consciousness.
Exactly.
Ooh.
So
I mean, he's better at constructing DVDs than I am, but that's what he does for a living.
Yeah. So definitely on your search for truth, keep an eye out for DVDs, because they will.
They can really trip people up, particularly people that have an interest and find existence and the various small components of it beautiful, right? Like there's people who, again, who's living, whose livings are made basically by drawing people in. But that is sort of, I mean, just as a last question, it kind of sounds like the reason you've come to this conclusion is the way that it makes you feel, because when we
it is a feeling, and I agree with that, and I shouldn't be doing it based off of feeling. I should do it based off of truth.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, it's all, because see, I was raised, my grandparents are extremely religious in a sense, like extremely Catholic. I mean, not Catholic, Pentecostal. Like they're extremely.
Ooh, like rolling in the aisle, speaking in tongues, Pentecostal.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, nice.
I mean, like that's scary crap. And see, I'm homeschooled, but see, my homeschool, the way it works is, okay, I was always told to be a free thinker. And see, we kind of do it in the way of like a public school in a sense, except but see, I'll be actually, what we do is we will just, we have school and we have different things and we get to study like the other, kids get to study, but we get to kind of stay on that particular subject for a while, and we get to know it. And we sometimes study religion a lot. And like I said, now my mother believes it, but I honestly can't. My dad is real skeptical of everything almost, it seems like.
Is he still a Pentecostal?
Who?
Sorry, is your father a believer? Has he accepted Jesus Christ as his personal Lord and Savior, etc.?
Oh, I don't know. He's such a conspiracy theorist. Still say,
that's where you got it from. Yeah.
But I don't think he denies it, but at the same time, I think he thinks all religion is a bunch of bullcrap.
Yeah. Well, you described him as skeptical a minute ago, but it doesn't actually sound like he's a skeptic. It sort of just sounds like.
I'll put it this way: moon landing didn't happen.
Yeah.
Religion is a made-up thing, which I think it is. And but he's diehard conspiracy theorist. And
so here's my quick comment on that, is that there's a lot of research done into conspiracy theorists and the way that they think, and why people develop ever-evolving ideas of grand conspiracies that run the world, etc. And one of them draws a significant similarity between that, and several parts of research draw significant similarities between that and that mindset and a religious mindset. So one of the things that can happen, even to people that end up calling themselves atheists explicitly, is that they don't adopt a skeptical mindset where they are free thinkers and want to find the truth and respond to it regardless of, whether they like it or whether they don't like it. And so it kind of sounds like there's bits of a religious mindset that have lingered with your dad because it's a familiar understanding. So he may have rejected like, oh, here's this guy that walked on water and then healed people by spitting on them. That doesn't make any sense. But also, the Illuminati is in control of everything. Because one of the things that happens with Christians is they say, oh, Hail Mary, full of grace, help me find a parking space. And it always works. Because they're driving in circles and eventually they find a parking space. So it plays into small things that happen in their lives. And those small things are under control from this outside force. And that's the same way that people who have this idea of a grand conspiracy apply it to their lives. Yep. Oh, well, the reason that the economy is going poorly, and the reason that this politician that I don't like was elected, and the reason that these things I don't like are happening are because there's this vaguely defined, all-powerful or incredibly powerful force directing world events, which is very much like, well, the reason these things are happening is that this vaguely defined God concept is controlling all of these events. And so I would urge you to consider the reasons that your dad might be falling into that. And then, I mean, again, you know, I would like to encourage you specifically to be skeptical about the kinds of beliefs that you come to. And I don't want to say like, ooh, use your dad as a, you know, as a what can go wrong if you don't fully adopt like a skeptical mindset. But those exact words I just said, yeah, it can, that kind of thing can go wrong if you don't adopt it. And I think, again, all I'm saying is you should adopt as skeptical a mindset as you can manage.
Cool.
I've always been rather skeptical of most things.
Well, that's good. But what about the things that you believe?
Yes. In fact, I used to be a real Christian. I used to, you know, but then I kind of thought, you know what? This is a bunch of bull.
Yeah.
There's no, I'm thinking, I don't really think it was you know, the Bible itself. I think it was more, you know, so the way certain people act in the name of it, you know, and some of the things they say, some of the, you know, ridiculous, because see, my grandmother, she's real Pentecostal, correct? Like she may be even more so than my grandfather. But I'll just tell you this, and this will kind of give you an idea.
Sure.
She said, I'll just tell you two things, and this will be pretty much all you need to know about her. But she says that evolution leads to Darwinism and Antichrist, and dinosaurs didn't exist.
That is
beautiful.
Oh, well, hold on a second. What is Darwinism?
It's a buzzword that about those evil
is that
evolutionists that want to
What is an evolutionist? It's like saying that you're a gravityist.
We watched a Christian movie the other day with this term. Don't ask me to explain this shit.
It just drives me up the wall, that's all.
Well, here, McKinley, we're going to go ahead and let you go in a second. I'm not sure if you've seen this show before, but I very much want to stay in touch with you, because staying in touch with someone who is skeptical and has an interest in science, if for no other reason than I also have an interest in science and like talking about it. Are you willing to communicate on email or Facebook or something?
Or hopping onto our Reddit?
Or hopping onto our Reddit?
Well, I really don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know how to set up emails or how to contact you, because I've tried contacting several people, the Atheist Experience on Facebook, but I can never get them to respond to me.
Yeah, they get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails.
Well, I'll try and find those responses. On the Talk Heathen page, we do not yet get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments, so we can respond to you there. And again, an email is, you know, I mean, if you don't have one and you've had problems setting it up, that's a thing. But
we actually want to point out the email is mail@talkheathen.com. That's at the bottom. And for those of you who are watching, our Reddit is reddit.com/r/talkheathen. Our Instagrams, because we're both Instagramming,
Jamie the Heathen,
Eric the Heathen.
And my Twitter is @reason_evidence.
Don't forget our Facebook page.
And our Facebook page is Talk Heathen. But McKinley, to you specifically, I really, really have an interest in continuing this dialogue, not just next week on a call, if you're available to do that, but in between now and then.
I probably won't because I still have to go to church. Well, no, you know what? No, never mind, because I forgot y'all start earlier. I'm thinking of the Atheist Experience.
Hey.
They tend to go on a little later, but I could, because I never thought you could call more than once. I thought
well, you can.
On this show, we prefer it.
We actually want to help people and see them along their journey and give them the tools to better explore the world around them. So you're in the right place. McKinley, brother?
Yeah, but message us on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Okay, now, could you tell me what your Facebook is just real quick so I can write it down? I forgot to write it down.
It's Talk Heathen. It's the same as the name of the show.
Yep.
And it's a Facebook page. There's actually, I think, 2 separate groups and only, well, there's a separate thing. The Facebook page, Talk Heathen, is ours.
In the meantime, McKinley, stay skeptical, and we will talk to you next time.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Go without God.
Appreciate you having me on the show.
Absolutely. Good talking to you.
Good to see you. Although he believes that there is a God, so that was a kind of...
Yeah, it was a little backhanded compliment.